don't forget it again. Right. Let's wait for Nadinda and we can get started. How was the implementation process? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this week. It was, it wasn't too complicated to do what we did, but I feel pretty good about what me and Claire wrote together. So
It's awesome.
Guys, for us it was crazy. Yeah, so but it was pretty interesting because we learned a lot. We've been doing research and we were like, so before we ask for help, let's just try on our own. And our research got something, we make something, and we were actually like we're expecting like that feedback, like change the function. This is and luckily it was different, so it was really interesting for us this week and tough. Yeah.
Yeah, it had some difficulties for sure, but like for me it was very like surprising and also like great to see that you put so much work and that you still like kind of independently made it work. So it's really awesome. I mean, your app has all the functionalities now, so yay.
Yeah,
we got design left to do. Oh, okay. So Nadinda just send a message on. Ah, she's here. Okay. Yay. Hi, Nadinda.
Finally. Sorry, am I late?
No worries at all.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we can get started with demos, I guess. Ela,
Cool.
you can take over from here.
Cool. I hope this week was a very nice week for every one of you. With what team would you like to start? So who would be brave to come first?
Yeah, I don't mind.
yeah, I'm happy to go first as well. So let's do it.
Oh,
So like last week, we're going to start with a demo first. I'll read what our issue was this week, though. Bear with me, please. I've just closed the window for the issue.
no
Let me
worries.
just quickly look it up.
Do you want me to share the screen meanwhile, or?
Actually, I'm nearly there.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, let me just also share my screen, actually. Yeah, you're right. This and this. I don't know if everybody can see my screen now. Is that perfect? So our issue was, as a user, I want to be able to delete items from my shopping list so that my list isn't cluttered with items I don't want to buy in the future. The ACs for this week were, the user is able to delete an item from the shopping list before deleting prompt the user to confirm that they really want to delete the item to prevent accidental deletions. Deletion should cause the associated records in the database to be deleted. So I'll now just go to the front end or the app itself. So I've got a number of items here in the list. It's fairly straightforward this week. So list of items, and say I don't want butter, I can just click the delete button. I get prompted with this prompt here, just to make sure that I really want to delete it. Click OK, and then there's a little message to sort of indicate that that entry has been deleted. So yeah, fairly straightforward. Initially, what the app looked like was, let's see. Yeah. So it looked like this. The delete button was styled as a link. So we had the word and then an underline. But what we didn't realize was that when you sort of clicked the what's it called? The checkbox. So you had to strike through. So this delete, so this word got the strike through as well. So from a design standpoint, that wasn't ideal. I hope you can still see my screen because I'm going to different, okay. So that wasn't ideal that this got a strike through as well. So Luca sort of saw that, and he mentioned that it might be better to turn this delete link, as it were, into a button. So we did that. So also for accessibility reasons. And when it was turned into a button, it's no longer styled with this strike through. How that looks in the code is also fairly straightforward. Let's see. So that's right here at the bottom. Oh, no, it isn't. Where is it? Let me just look. No. I think so. Oh.
Yeah, I think you were in a
So
right
Was I in
component.
the correct thing? Okay.
Yeah. Should be
In the
item.
Huh. Oh, yes. So this was initially, this was a link with an href, but yeah, we decided to style that as a button. So that worked really well. And now that I'm in the code base, I'll hand over to Abby, who will take you through some of the other things that that we did.
Are you okay to give me control of your
Yes.
screen?
Yes, let me
Thank
do that. Stop sharing and
I think you can do it from the existing share. There should be like a little, when you share, there should be a drop down thing.
you're right.
You might also be able to request control.
Yeah,
Might
I
make
think
it
you
easier.
can. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. I think I've got it.
Ah, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. I'll go back to
Perfect, thank you. Control. It's weirdly not letting me do anything.
No?
No, I don't know why. It says that I've got control, but nothing is working. It might be easier for me to just share my screen than to talk through
Okay.
this next step.
Yeah, sounds good. Bear with me, I'll oh my goodness, this is yeah. Can you share now, or do I still need to do something? Oh no, I see it. Yeah.
There
Sure.
we go. Okay. If I share and open the code. Okay, so obviously our main AC was to delete a button both from the UI and from the database. We were very lucky that there is a Firebase method for just such an occasion, which we've included in the handle click function for the button here. And it's this delete method. So using the delete method, it takes the item in question out of the database. It finds it using the ID that's passed into the item component already. So nice and easy, that's there for us. And once that item is deleted, it's automatically removed from the UI because we're using the use collection hook over in show list, which is constantly updating based on what's in the database. The other thing that we included and was originally in this item.jsx, but we moved into the show list component on Kevin's suggestion, was a function that shows and the item's been deleted, so displays a message here. And I thought it was a great suggestion to include all of the logic in one place, so it could just be passed through to the item.jsx component. And then we can just use this display message and pass the message through that we want to use. In this case as well, because there was another comment to show something to the user if there happens to be an error with the call to the database. I've also used it just to let the user know that there's an error that's occurred. I think that we could potentially improve this a little bit more because right now this isn't styled in an error type way. But I think that's something for us to work on as we style the app. And then the only other thing is that obviously this display message, which is included in the show list, so it's right at the top of the returned JSX, it won't show a message if the last item is deleted. Me and Claire did actually discuss that, and we didn't think that it was too much of an issue at this point, because obviously if there's an empty list, then it's pretty clear that your last item has been deleted. But again, that's something we can discuss as a group and change if we need to. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our issue. Are there any questions or anything else?
Yeah, just a quick comment. Because I just thought about this. So when we add an item, do we display a message? Like similarly, like when we delete an item, like it says it's successfully deleted. Maybe you could, like as a group, think about this also. When you add an item, you could also kind of display a message for the user that your item was added to the list.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Throwing the idea. But yeah, great implementation. Super neat, well structured.
Cool. I will stop sharing my screen then.
Cool. Now let's go with the second team.
Yeah, so I will share my screen then. Where is it? Can you see my screen? Okay. Nope, not that one. So me and Zashi were working on this task of issue 12, and there is a lot to cover here. It's a kind of a big task, but I'll try to explain as short as possible. So here, as a user, we want to view a list of my shopping list, and then we want to order it by how likely we want to buy each of the item again. And so there are 4 possible states here. If it's fewer than 7 days, the user would need to buy it soon. And if it's between 7 and 30 days, it's kind of soon, and more than 30 days is not so soon. And we also need to add an inactive item. So if it's if the time has elapsed more than 2 times what was estimated, it should be inactive. And so we have to create a distinct color or any kind of visual distinction between the 4 possible states, which is this. And then we want to be able to sort it by the number of days until next purchase. And if it's the same number of days, we want to sort it alphabetically. And the last AC is we want to create the accessibility label so that user with a screen reader can easily use our app. And so, yeah, I think that's all. Zashi, do you want to do the demo or should I?
Sorry, again.
Do you want to do the demo or not?
Oh, the demo. I suggest that we pass record, then we show the demo like after explaining the
Okay, sure. Yes.
demo. Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to control my screen or do you want to share the screen?
You can share your Visual Studio Code or share mine, the easy one. Like.
Okay. So I will
Maybe.
stop. Huh?
Okay, let me share. It's fine. It's fine. Okay.
I will stop sharing.
Yeah. So. Right. Can see my screen now. So
Yep.
here is this, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah. So actually like we based on like the AC, like starting from like doing the code, we referred to this like AC rules. So we wanted like first the main thing we wanted to do was to sort the items. Then also after sorting it, we try to differentiate the item based on like, was it like bought soon, kind of soon. That was like the main idea in the project. So we started by like, because from here you can see the main point was about like sorting them based on like what is the estimation of the next purchase. So because we have that value in the Firebase, right here. Yeah, we have the value next purchase, which should be accessed from Firebase. So that helped us like to create a logic. So the way we did it, you can see here down, you see where we've been sent, like we created the item component, and the item component, we were like after like, because there is a condition of like the item which are filtered or the item which is just there before like you filter. So we put the sort function after like the document. So like after like accessing the whole document from the Firebase, you first need to sort these items. So we use the sort function, and the sort function was implemented up here. So the way it was like implemented, we had to take 2 items at a time, and there is item 1 and item 2, and we compare the item based on their next purchase. So we'd be like, so let's say we have item maybe mango and the potatoes. So we compare their next purchase, but because we also, that would be easy like sorting directly, but also there was another like logic of like finding out what is the inactive item and what is the active. So we also created a function up here which I could check for us like before, like is this item active or inactive. So based on the explanation from the AC, the inactive item was the item where the elapsed time was greater than twice of the next purchase. You can see here was the if condition. So right here we were like calculating the elapsed time. I think this was not the first time we did this. So it's just subtracting this moment, like now moment, minus like when was the last item was purchased. Then after getting elapsed time, we should compare it like, is it greater or equal to the next purchase value times 2. So if it's less, the elapsed time, we should return like say this item is inactive, right? If not, it should be active, because if it's elapsed, that one should become active. So the function was called in sort function. So how was the sort function was working? It was like we should say, so there is item which is inactive right here, and there is an item which is active, because this note was like opposite of inactive is active. So we should, when we return -1 here, we're saying, so once, like, because sort method work in a way like once like the value returned is -1, it means the first item should come first, right? Like should be listed first, then the following should follow. So this means that once there is an inactive item, I mean the active, because this is not active, so it means it's active item, and there is another item which is inactive. So you should put active first, then you follow with inactive one, because we are returning -1 here. That's what this means. Same here, we like say once the inactive, there is like inactive and active, because we are returning 1, it means this one here, the second one should come listed first, then this one should follow. So there was another, in AC, they asked us that they like, once they like 2 items have similar or the same next purchase value, those items should be sorted alphabetically. So this is what we did here. So we're like, once they are like value of next purchase is same, we should now return, like we should compare their names, the name of the item. So after like checking the active and active, this is where like now we like check now the left values, which like maybe did not apply with active or inactive right here. And those items now should be sorted based on like, is it inactive, is it active? If does they have like the same value of next purchase? If so, then it should return like the list which is sorted like either maybe based on next purchase or alphabetically. So that's really how we applied the sort function, which we called here in sort method. So I think going with now classifying the item based on like whether they are bought soon or next or not soon, I can handle to Nadinda. You want to go with this?
Yes.
Item?
Okay. And maybe I can control your screen somehow, because you're already opening the.
I don't know how to like.
I have requested. Yes.
Yeah, now you can control it, I guess.
Wait a second.
Can you?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Okay, good.
For the next one, could you maybe mute the
You can print
yes.
item. Okay.
Okay. So the next one we are trying to. Why is it not? Does it show list?
Here.
Yes. This one. Yeah. Okay. It's a bit slow, is it? Nope, I lost control.
Oh my God.
Can you? Yeah, can you just scroll down?
All right. Hello, please. This is.
Yes, group item class name. Yeah. So, here in the item component, we're trying to make the distinct color of like we give the class name of each different condition. So we grab the last purchase date and our next purchase field, and we just say that if the elapsed time, which is like calculate latest interval, is greater than equal to double the amount of days of the next purchase estimate, then we will return that as an inactive. Like we give the inactive class name, And then the next cases is for the next purchase. So if it's less than 7, we give soon class name. And then if it's between 7 days and 30 days, we give kind of soon class name. And then the last case will be returning not so soon class name. And then, so yeah, this is handled in the CSS. I think it's in the show list CSS. Yeah. Yeah, so here we have the 4 different class names: soon, kind of soon, not so soon, and inactive, which is, it's simply just different colors now, but when we do styling later in the next issue, I think we can tweak it a little bit. And so could you please go back to the item JSX?
Yep. Can you see the?
Yes. And so for the last AC, we want to set accessibility. So we just create a new function to just pass the argument of the class name, and we just basically give the text for a screen reader to read. So if it's name is the item name as inactive, then if the class name is inactive, then it returns the item name is inactive, and then something else is based on this criteria. And then we use it in the line, where is it? Line 104. This was a bit like interesting because we are combining what is it? Static, like text only class name, and then we call a function here, and it's basically every return value, which is append them together with the join method here, and of course with the blank space and this space.
So
yeah.
it's we want like it was an array, like we had two, like more than one string, and we want them to be like combined and separated. So this join method like helped us to now return like the string which should be accessed inside here. So it was doing the like magic we wanted. Yeah, I think that's more of it. So we can go I think to demonstration.
Yeah.
So the demonstration, I think it's also a bit weird. I think it's okay. Make it easy. All right, let me run. Okay, so we have. Okay, maybe I can delete everything. Now things is easy. You can just delete and start over. So you like okay. Let's start. Create maybe a list of items. Let's say orange, right? So orange is soon. That means you have a specific color, or maybe to remember like everything. I think soon was like red color. Then we take a reference from like the color as well. List.css right here. So you can see soon, kind soon orange, and not soon like green. This will help. So we take orange, we add it, and we also take like maybe milk. Then we make it kind soon. And also we add, let's say, potato or avocados. Avocado, yep. Then we can go and list the item right now in the list. I don't know if it's my network. Yeah, okay. So initially like all item like they are active, like based on the condition we created, they are active. And if you go to in Firebase, so we are going like to modify like the value of next purchase, and from there will be like knowing is this item active or inactive, something like that. So right now we have a lot of lists. My God, so I think we can filter my list by token so that I will have only the list we created. How to get this token? Okay. Now I can. It's a bit long process, so you'll be sorry. Right. So right now I think I have 3 items. Oh, this is different list. I don't know why. From Nadina, can you like maybe go on with this because I see it's getting messy.
Yes. So I think, yeah, that's not the token we want. Oops.
I think you can just not type in anything and just filter it with the token. If you just remove the condition and press token, it will like show you tokens. So
Okay.
just you see like add condition, like if you clear that up, no condition. So now just if you click token from the filter, yeah. So if you click the filter icon,
Click the filter,
yeah, just click token and apply.
Really? Okay.
And now you have like token names, which you can, I don't know, click on.
Yeah, but we still have to search for our list, isn't it?
I think it's bloat something.
1, 2, 3, 1. I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. Go to. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a bit hard. The controlling screen. Okay, so we have here our items of milk, orange, and something else I forgot. So we can try to change the next purchase because our condition is less than 7 days, between 7 and 30 and more than 7 days. So let's try to create that conditions. And so this can be our middle one, and this can be our more than 30 days. So just to do one, for example. And so the color should be changed accordingly, which is the orange is for the soon one, and milk is kind of soon, and avocado is the not so soon. Is it? Yes. So yeah, that's the distinct colors demo. And then we now want to create how to make them inactive. So in order to, you want to do this, Sashi?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So for the inactive side, it's more like from the condition, like in our AC, it was like the item should be inactive once like the next purchase item times 2 is less than the elapsed time. So it means, for example, we have right now have the next purchase, let's say this is orange, and now the next purchase value is 6. So once like, let's say right now is like 2 times, like more than 12, because 2 times 6 is 12. So that means we'll make this item inactive. So to do that, we'll change, let's say this is 6 days. So let's change the last purchase date to be maybe 2 weeks or 3
You
weeks.
have to buy it first, though.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Go back
Okay.
to the
So,
yeah.
so we buy orange, and yeah, that's true. Thanks. Actually, let me see again. I need to just looking in like the code, because we kind of modified a lot of time this condition for item to make it like inactive or active. Actually, we're not basing like the next purchase, but we're basing on number of purchase. Am I right? Or nothing?
Yes, we initially added a condition of like less than 2 purchases. So initially everything will be inactive at first. And then I think Luca mentioned that we have to decide on 2 possible ways of doing this. And we decided to go for make every item active immediately. So this is why we don't check for number of purchases anymore, but just to keep it like as close as how user would use it, we then have to buy it first. I think that makes more sense. But go on. You can change the last purchase date now.
Yeah. So like, for example, right now, as she's saying, we are not referring like to the condition to check whether next purchase doubled is like less than the like elapsed time. So let's say maybe the last purchase was not made right now, but let's say it was made, maybe it means have to be greater than like 12. So I can modify the date right here. Maybe this is today at 22. I can make, for example, on first 8. This I think we like 2 times day has already, the elapsed time has exceeded like 12. So this will make it like, will change, like if we come and check in the like orange, it has already turned to be inactive, and it have to be like ranked to the last, like to the bottom of the list. So all the inactive have like the gray color, and they are supposed to be like sorted at the last position, like the last, yeah, list. So that's, I think, did I forget anything else? I didn't know.
No, I think we covered everything. Perfect.
So if it's question, yeah.
Yeah, amazing work, team. Yeah, this was a quite big issue for the user story that you had to implement. So yeah, this is really, really awesome.
Thank you.
Great job.
Cool. All right. Well, I guess. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you wrap up.
So I just wanted to say that I'm really impressed from the work of both teams. Like I really liked in the first team that you also put some extra things, like for example this green thing that it was successfully deleted, and I like that you used the button for the delete. And the whole way you wrote the code was both clean and understandable. And also the second team, they had the big issue, and I really like everything you did, like with the colors and the whole process. So I'm really surprised and happy by the progress. Really good job.
Thank you.
Cool. Yes. Great job. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is our retrospective. And if you haven't had a chance to put anything in it, we'll go ahead and take like 5 minutes or so to give everyone a chance to add some stuff. And just as a reminder, this is a safe space to talk about what went really well, and maybe how could we improve as a team, because we're all trying to improve. So let's go ahead and take 5 minutes, and you can turn your screen off and all that, or your camera off to do that, and I'll jump back in and let everyone know when we're ready to go.
Baby, ndabiyamye ariko.
All right, we can give it a couple more seconds for you to finish. I guess when everyone's ready,
I forgot that
indicate
my
somehow.
screen is touch screen, and then I moved the columns around. I'm sorry for that.
All right. Are we good to proceed? Cool. All right. So the first column is the happy column. Appreciations and shout outs. So Nadinda, you want to take this one away?
Yes, sure. So I'm quite amazed. Like, I've been reading the PRs and stuff, and all of our code is nice and like clear. So I'm proud of us. Good job to my peers. And yeah, and also thanks for, of course, Kevin and like Luca, Bella, and like Jamaka for helping us get through this far. It's been amazing. Like, you guys are supportive as hell. Like, every steps, and just hold our hands and make sure we are doing well. And so thank you.
All right.
Okay, cool. Sasha, yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna combine the two because look like I also follow myself. So yeah, so the first one is like I really thank everyone. Like, I know sometimes it be like it's a responsibility. Like, mentors are here to help us, I understand, but it's a good thing. Like, every time you need someone, no matter what maybe he or she's doing, he will say like maybe some second or whatever, but that day he will be there to help you or to explain you what you need, like what you miss out. So I really thank everyone that either is in my group or my mentors, all of you guys. So another thing is, Kevin, thank you for your work. Like, he been like sacrificing his time to create some videos that will teach us how to create a good like review from GitHub. So I really thank him for all of that. So thank you so much, Kevin.
Cool. I'm glad you like that. I'll try to keep doing that. Okay, Abby.
Yeah, so my first shout out is to the mentors for the tremendous amount of help that you offer us. So Chiamaka, Bella, Kevin, and Luca, thank you. Just in the last 6 weeks, I feel like I've learned so much from you all. And the comments that you leave on our PRs are always thoughtful and enlightening, and I always learn something or get the chance to think about things in a different way. And then, of course, a massive shout out to Claire and Zashi for partnering with me the past couple of weeks and for being excellent partners, both in coding and also with your patience and your communication. So thank you.
Awesome. Chamika?
Okay, I want to say shout out to the developers. You've really worked so hard all through the projects. You've built the whole functionality, and then we are left to just styling the app and coming up with the design. So shout out to you all. I'm super proud of you. And then to the mentors too, for always being there for guidance and mentorship. Shout out to us all. Thank you.
All right, and then Luca.
Yeah, shout out to the whole team for your dedication again and for your amazing teamwork. You put so much energy and time into this, and it is really, really amazing that your app came to this state where it is right now. So congratulations also with that. And I think like you are all very kind and so helpful to each other, and because of that you are a great team and your collaboration is always amazing. And finally, thank you mentors for being available all the time, and special shout out to Kevin for doing live sessions for code reviews. So thank you for that as well.
And then, yeah, I just have a great work, great collaboration, great communication, especially the, I would consider, expert use of emojis by everyone, whether you're chatting in Slack or in the actual like comments on a PR. So keep that up. And then Claire, you're next.
Yes. Also, again, thank you to all the mentors. It's nice to know that, you know, if we have any questions, you're just a Slack message away. So that's really, yeah, that helps a lot. And I especially liked Kevin's advice during the office hours. So, you know, if you're a junior developer, you know, what you can do, sort of, you know, chat to your more senior colleagues about the code, and, you know, once a week you can sort of, you know, yeah, chat to someone. So I really found that useful. But yeah, also all the other mentors for, yeah, being there. Also to my peers, Abby, Nadinda, Sashi. I'm so impressed by, you know, your knowledge, and I do lean on you guys a little bit because, you know, I'm, I don't know, I just see what you guys are doing, and it's, yeah, it's super impressive. Yes, and that's what I have.
Excellent. Praise all around. I love it. All right, so the second column. So what went well this week? I'll start off with Nadinda.
Yeah, so it's specifically for Zashi because in the past week, it was a big task and we were struggling to sort of come up with a solution to the sorting problem, and Zashi was the one who solved that issue. So it was amazing, and yeah, that went well.
Excellent. Zashi?
Yeah, like I think it's kind of 50-50 because I solved the sorting part and I was struggling like how gonna solve like coloring the, you know, the list based on whether they are sewn or kind of sewn. So Nadinda came up also with the solution. So we're like, wow. So combining our effort, things were like working as expected. So chill out to her, she did a lot as well.
Excellent. Abby?
Yeah, so we've completed all of our app functionality. So that is great news for all of us, world and everyone. And then the other thing for what went well is, I know in the past we've struggled with, the main thing we've struggled with is like our timings through the week and trying to get things done on time. And I think that we've just got really, really good at that as a group, like getting through the code, getting the PRs opened in really good time, reviewing each other's code and like putting the time aside for it. So I think that that has gone exceptionally well.
All right, Bella?
So what I believe is that I think that all of you are quite confident. So it doesn't matter whatever task you take. I feel that you are going to achieve it, and that is a great feeling as a mentor. This week, I felt like Claire and Abby did an amazing demo. I really liked it, even if I never attended the weeklies or something in the Collab lab. I would understand what the feature was and how you dealt with it. And for Nandinda and Sashi, I think that the implementation was really nice. There were multiple ways to deal with it, but I really liked the job. And I guess that the task number 12 was not like the easiest one. So that was a really great job. That's all.
Excellent, excellent. Then I have one here, and I'm saying everyone has had to figure out some pretty complex acceptance criterias over the past couple of weeks. I feel like they've been getting progressively harder, but where I thought maybe there might be some hangups or some tricky parts, you've breezed through them, and so I kept like being on standby in Slack, being like, okay, they're gonna ask about something, and I'm gonna jump in and help them out. And then Friday comes, and I'm just like, okay, well, all I have to do is review. So they've solved everything. And that ties off what Bella was saying. It really is. You've learned so much. You've come a very long ways just over the course of a couple of weeks, and you're taking on progressively harder and harder issues, and just knocking it out. So keep it up. Oh, sorry, Chamaka.
Yeah. For this week's
It's 6 o'clock.
Sorry. This week's functionalities, they are working really fine. You came together as usual. You worked really hard, and then you conquered all the ACs. And then the PRs were timely too. It's really nice that they came in really early this week. So congrats.
Excellent. And Luca, let's round this off.
So yeah, I think Bella, I would agree with Bella and Kevin. You like it, I can really feel the confidence confidence from your end, because you didn't. Of course, we are asking all the time to throw us as many questions as you can, but like you independently solved this complex issue, which is really amazing. It shows that you are pretty confident in your skills, and you should be, because you've done a great job. And also just wanted to throw in that PR descriptions were absolutely amazing, as well as the testing criteria. The complex issue it's very hard to test that issue. So having these testing criteria like pretty clear helps so much in terms of how you approach this issue, how it works in general, and so on. So wonderful job with that.
Awesome. And then it looks like Abby has one last criticism or piece of feedback.
Yeah, sorry for being a negative Nelly. No, I'm only joking. It's not that negative. When I tested Nadinda and Zashi's issue, when the PR was first raised, I found it, obviously before they made the changes, that the items are active when they're added. I did find it kind of counterintuitive that an item was inactive when added. And obviously Luca added the comments and they changed it, and I think it works great. So I guess my only criticism is that when I checked it, I was going to comment on that, but when I checked the ACs and the issue they were working on, the issue does kind of explicitly say that a newly added item should be inactive. So I just wondered if maybe for the future it's worth making it clear that there's two possible routes to go down when making the app.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. And I think in general, how the app should function is that when you add an item, it is considered as purchased. So your number of purchases one, like that's how initially Andrew thought about the application. But then over time, like as I attended different groups and as I went through it as well, I think it still gives you like a freedom to decide how you want the app to function. Like, would you prefer to have like items purchased when you edit, or would you prefer to just add an item that has like no state yet, but it's just there, and as you purchase, then the state changes. So, but that's a great suggestion. Maybe we should include some comments, at least like notes in the issue, so that everybody knows that they have freedom to go whichever direction they want.
Excellent. Great feedback. It's going to help not just us, but future collabs. So awesome work. Great work, everybody. That's the retro.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you all. I'm gonna share my screen to go over with the issue. Can you all see my screen? Perfect. Okay, so our last issue, I mean, we just only have 2 weeks left to complete the user stories, but we have only 1 issue left, and I will give you more details in terms of how it works. So as a user, I want the app to look professionally and welcoming. And this last 2 weeks will be more like open-ended kind of situation where you create your own issues. So we want you to give some opportunities to create your own user stories, write them down, add them on GitHub, and then as a team decide who wants to work on those specific issues. You have freedom to do it in pairs, and you have freedom to work on this together, like 4 of you. But it's totally up to you, and if you prefer to do it in pairs, we still have in project brief you can find yeah, in project brief we have pairs listed. So if you want to choose from here, you can do that, or if you want to work on it all together, that's also up to you. But you as a team, generally, you need to sit down all together and decide what color palette you want to choose, what like packages or libraries you want to utilize to accomplish what you're trying to do. And here we are just giving you all the necessary tools that might help, such as like mood boards, Google fonts, accessibility, accessible color palettes, icons, and we have some frameworks listed here as well. You can take that road as well to choose framework, Bootstrap, Tailwind, Material UI, Semantic UI, or you can go with pure CSS. Yeah, basically, I think you can go through this issue in more details, but basically how this would work is that you will all sit down, decide on colors, what you want to work on, who wants to create issues, and then who wants to work on those issues. Basically, you are given whole freedom to kind of organize yourself independently so that you get that experience as well. But in case you have any questions, of course, like we are always here to help. So lean on your mentors, ask us questions if you have, and use the suggestions and advices that are mentioned here. And I'm super excited to see like how you're gonna work on this, how you're gonna decide. And please also just let us know what road you want to take. In terms of like pairing or working on this as a team. Okay, any questions?
I'm personally curious what an ironic tone would look like. It's one of the options. What is an ironic tone?
And there are many more too. Visual fidelity word handcrafted hacky history. Yeah, it's gonna be so interesting.
What a number of designers are now doing is that they use the sort of the iconography and the design from, say, 20 years ago. So the web 20 years ago. So that's quite fun and ironic, I guess, to use in current websites and apps and stuff. So maybe that's an ironic example of irony.
I saw one of the toads was I think it was Western or something. So I'm imagining like checking off like I purchased an item and then it's just like yeehaw, like
it's funny. Oh, I also wanted to mention we have one more learning module left in the coming week, which is about accessibility. And accessibility is a pretty important topic nowadays because in some countries even require your app to be, or your website as well as the app to be accessible. And we will learn more about it. So after that learning module, we will also share some tools to use to identify some of the like unaccessible things on your website. And that is also like pretty interesting topic. And you will be able to make your app accessible too. So can be fun. Any other questions?
Yeah, like I'm, you know, it's kind of because the way the issue is, as we're saying, it's more like we are the one to decide how we're gonna make an approach, and it's always like once people are more than 1, 2, 3, like it's always hard, like who is going to take it, like a lead and decide which way we're gonna do. So I was wondering, like, won't it be like everyone wait for another one to do something and it's like B? So I don't know, just I'm wondering, like we are 4 and you say like it has to decide. So I was wondering if we could maybe finish this here, or maybe we have Slack room where we go and discuss about that. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, you can totally, please use the TCL-29 channel. That way we can also see like what you are thinking, how you are trying to approach this last 2 weeks, and maybe we can also give you some suggestions and advice like how to do it. But do you think you want to do it in pairs, or do you want to do it as a whole team? Any ideas?
It might be nice to work as a team, just because we haven't done that before. So it might be a nice new experience.
I also oh, sorry, Nazinda.
No, it's just mob programming instead of pair programming.
I was going to say, if we have to have we have to discuss what routes we want to take. I think that at least might be nice to do as a group, because it's something we need to decide together, and we'll probably all have different thoughts and perspectives.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you can decide on fonts and like all the general design items you need to choose, and then yeah, it's totally up to you. You have 2 weeks, so you can try both. If you want to experiment as a team, you can do that, and if you want to pair program, and if you think that's more effective, that you can do it that as well. But it's going to be fun also creating those issues, issues like this, like naming it and then giving the description and with the acceptance criteria. So yeah.
How do we do that, by the way? So creating an issue, I don't know if you could sort of quickly, or is there?
Yeah. So when you go to issues, you can click new issue, and it's basically very, very like similar to the PR. You know, like you give the title of the issue, and then you write the description with the ACs.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You can throw in some wireframe if you want. Some people use Figma to design the app, and then they can link the Figma page to the issue. You are more than welcome to do that.
Okay.
There was something else, like last time we found that there's some small stuff like from our codes which were like required to be changed. For example, if you added like the second item, the message should stay there. Like we say like that, those one, is it like we can also fix them in this week so that we clear up everything like from the code?
Absolutely, yes. If you want to refactor the code, you can do that as well. Absolutely. Just creating issues will help you to navigate better, you know, like, okay, so maybe two of us will work on refactor and the other pairs will do something else. So kind of like splitting all this work into different issues will help a lot to navigate better.
Yeah, as I understand it, anything's on the table. So if you want to make any changes, whether it's under the hood or cosmetic or adding new functionality, sky's the limit. Dream it up, you can do it. And you're also, from what I understand, you're not limited to only doing one issue this week. So if you get together and power out, you know, 2 or 3 issues that you want to do, you know, I'll be there. I'll try to I'll try to keep up with code review.
Yeah, same here.
And another method that might help is having that initial call, all of you, and then probably finding out what areas that each of you have strengths in. Like you can ask questions like, have you used Figma before? Have you designed an app? Could you help us do this? Or have you used Tailwind CSS? You could champion the use of the framework. That can help too.
So let me start sharing. All right, all. If you have any questions, please let us know. And yeah, I'm super curious to see like where you take the design process. Can't wait to see.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Take it easy, everyone. Great
See
work.
you.